Leaders. Leaders are vision oriented, which involves and have a very clear vision and ability to set direction for others to follow. They are influence based. It is not only about authority or a position alone, but also influencing others' thoughts, actions, and behaviors. People centric. Leaders are effective and focused on understanding, supporting, and developing people around them, or especially their team. Leaders are goal driven. They align all the team efforts with organizational or group goals to achieve success. Leaders are known to be as an inspirational. They are those people who inspire others. Leadership not only involves the motivating but also energizing others to go beyond their limits. They are decision makers. Leaders make crucial decisions and often under pressure that affects the direction of the group or an organization. So leaders are not only the people who are inspire inspire others, but they are vision. They have a clear vision towards the goal, and they are mainly the people centric, which are goal driven and decision makers. They are empowering. The good leaders empower team members by building confidence and providing opportunities for growth. They are the change makers. Leaders are often act as change agents, guiding others through transitions and transformations within the processes. They are true leadership leaders who involves integrity, accountability, and make ethical choices. So they are known to be as an ethical and responsible people. Good leaders are communication focused. Their communications are very clear, very consistent, and effectively to ensure understanding and alignment with their team members. They are the most adaptable and resilient. Good leaders adjust their approaches depending on situations, challenges, and needs of their own team. They are collaborators, collaborative oriented. Leaders are about fostering teamwork, collaboration, and shared responsibilities. So, leaders have not only vision oriented or people centric or goals or inspirational, but they are the change makers who make the entire society, even the country, as a in a change. And whenever there is a transformation or transitional processes, leaders are there who make the changes within the society, within the organization. They are known to be as an ethical and responsible people who are known for their integrity, and people rely on the responsible and ethical people. That is why they are leaders. They are most adaptable as per the situations given to them, and they believed in shared responsibilities. There are certain definitions given by the management scholars. By Warren Bennis said that leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. As they have the clear vision, they are goal oriented, they know they are the change makers, they know there is their own responsibilities, they take the team along with them, so that helps them to to create their vision or do into reality. Whereas the Maxwell focused on that leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. They are the most influential people, because unless according to him, unless the person is not influenced, people cannot follow. So yeah, they're more inspirational people, those who know how to influence, because then only they can take their team along with them. With the Peter Drucker, the only definition of a leader is someone with followers. Those who are following the leaders, it means the person is goal oriented, the person is influential, the person is ethical, responsible. They know their team, the communication is very good. Then only people can follow them, or the team can follow them. Kutzon and Ronell defined as leadership is a process of influencing people so that they will strive willingly and enthusiastically towards the achievement of group goals. Whereas Stephen Covey, leadership is communicating to people. He insisted on the communication of the leaders to the team and their worth. Uh, and potential so clearly that they come to see it in themselves. So Stephen Covey defined leadership as a communication being the main factor, main quality of a leader, because if he can be able to communicate their vision, their goals and directions, so people definitely follow them. It means they are more into the collaborative nature. They all are aligned together with the leaders, and the person who have good communication often known to be as the good leaders. So there are different definitions from different perspective from all these management scholars. So let's see what is the importance of leadership. Leadership is very well known and very important factor for making any organization successful, irrespective of its size, irrespective of the nature of their business. It is the art or process of influencing people to perform assigned tasks willingly, effectively, and competently. Without leadership, a line manager simply cannot be effective. Leadership of the line manager transforms potential into reality. When the good leadership is in the place, when there are good leaders in an organization, it is felt through the it can be felt throughout the entire organization, because it is known to be as the strategic management or the leaders are good. Down the line all the people are aligned, and once their vision is clear, if they are goal, it means they are goal oriented. It means everybody is aligned with the organization goal, not with their own, not only with their personal goals. With good leadership, organization culture is not forced, but it develops naturally, because leaders are those people who fosters the organization culture. Communication is effective and open. It is a key to the leadership, where they are where the communication between the leaders and the other management below the management is very open, and it is very effective because it shows the influence of the leaders on the management, other management roles. Everyone understand the vision and goals of an organization, and everyone has input into how they are improved. People feel that they are important part of the organization, and they give their best for the success of the organization. So overall, leadership is very important. The leaders are very important in an organization, not only for the managing or maybe to strategizing the things, but also to take the people along with them towards the organization goals. But there are certain challenges on the leadership, which is mainly the three major challenges. First challenge is to provide a shared vision of where the organization is heading and what is the purpose. Like what is the vision and vision of an organization? It has to be clearly defined. It has to be clearly communicated to the organization, to all the members of organization, so that they can be aligned with that vision and mission of an organization. That is the challenge of a leadership, because if unless it is not properly defined, unless it is not properly communicated, it is very difficult for all the management areas to take them together in a collaborative manner. Second challenge is to set objectives. That is to convert the strategic vision and directional goals with specific performance outcome for each area which leaders deem important for success. It means that the leaders needs to set the objective as per the capacity and capability, as well as the goals. All has to be aligned, all has to be syncing, so that whatever be the area where they need to be need the success, or they need they know about the important areas of the success. The objectives has to be aligned and with the direction of the people on their specific performance outcomes. The KRAs has to be aligned with the mission and vision of an organization, along with their the capacities and capabilities to achieve the KRAs and KPIs has to be properly formulated. This is very important challenge of an leadership, which has to be defined and which has to be communicated also to the management in a proper manner. The third challenge is providing strategic direction to generate and develop a strategy that will determine how to achieve the objective. Now, the third challenge is about the processes. First task is if the vision and mission is completed and it is being communicated and it is being known to all the management areas, the that is all the objectives are set, but the most important is how to achieve that. The process has to be properly defined. The process has to be scientifically proven, because unless the process and the direction is not clear and the strategy is not clear, it is very difficult to achieve the objectives, because only the objective will not solve the purpose of the leadership. The leadership challenges can be achieved only when the performance is seen and in a smoother manner, in a sustainable development is seen. So there are certain challenges which are revolves around setting the vision, sharing a vision and mission along with the objectives and along with the strategic directions. So leaders initiate actions. Leaders are those people who takes action, who believe in actions, and who starts the work by communicating the policies and rules and regulations, plans to the subordinates, from where to work actually starts. They are on the first mark, first step to push their team, to take their team along with them. Second, the leader has to be a very good motivator. A leader provides to be playing as an incentive role in the concern working. He motivates the employees with economic and sometimes with the non-economic rewards, and thereby gets the work from the subordinates. Leaders are those people who provide guidance. Leaders has to not only supervise, but also they are the guides, they are the torch bearers. Guidance here means instructing the subordinates the way they have to perform their work effectively and efficiently. Creating confidence. Leaders are those people who create a confidence among the team, among the people. They they explain them very clearly their role and giving them guidelines to achieve the goals effectively. That confidence is given by the leader to their subordinates. Moral building is again a responsibility or a role of a leader, where the cooperation of the employees towards their work and getting them confidence and winning their trust. The leader can be a moral booster by achieving full cooperation so that they can perform with best of their abilities as they work to achieve goals. Leaders are builders. They build the work environment. Management is getting things done by people. An efficient work environment helps in sound and stable growth. They are the best coordination leaders. They are best in coordination, because coordination is all among not only between two people, but it also reconciling personal interest with organizational goals. This synchronization can be achieved through proper and effective coordination, which should be the prime motive of the leader, because unless the personal interest and the goals are not aligned, it is very difficult sometimes even to motivate or provide the guidance, or maybe to build up the confidence or build up the morale of the subordinates or the team. It is very important role of a leader to create the coordination between their interest and the goals. Leader and managers are sometimes taken as the same people, but there are certain characteristics. Yes, leaders can be managers, managers can be good leaders, but there are certain characters which are differentiate between just who is just as a manager, or who is a leader. A manager is more of an administrator. He or she administer, take the administrative responsibility, whereas the leader innovates. Manager is basically the processes, whereas the leaders creates the processes. They are the originals. Managers maintains, where the leaders develops the processes or maybe any systems or any rules, or maybe they go beyond that. Manager mainly focus on systems and structure. They go on whatever be the structure of the system says. They go because they are the administrator, whereas the leaders are focusing more on people, because they are acting as a person who coordinates between the personal interest of the team and synchronize with the organizational goals. Managers relies on control, how to control the things, whereas a leader inspires trust. Managers view is very short term. They always see short range view. They cannot go beyond the rules or beyond the policies or the procedures, whereas a leader take a chance to go beyond that, and they have a long range perspective of taking the things. Manager generally ask about how and when, how the things can be done, and when till what when needs to be complete. Whereas a leader generally focus and surround themselves about asking what needs to be done and why needs to be done. Manager eye is on the bottom line, whereas leader's eye is on a horizon. Manager imitates their manager, where leaders originates. Manager accepts the status quo, whereas leader sometimes challenges the status quo, because they are in the urge of asking about why and how, what needs to be changed or what needs to be done. Managers are classic good soldiers. They often go along with the processes, they go along with the rules and regulations and the policies, where the leaders are their own person. They make their own original work, they develops the work, they focus more on people, so they are more own person. So managers does things right and leaders does the right thing. Managers sometimes bounded by the rules and regulations, they need to do the things right in a way within the boundaries, where the leaders are does the right thing even if they need to go beyond those policies and the rules and regulations. So these are the certain characteristics which differentiate between the manager and the leaders. There are certain leadership theories which are given by the management scholars. That is, first is Blake and Monton managerial grid. Second is trait theory of leadership, transformational leadership theory, transactional leadership theory, and Fiedler contingency model. Let's understand all these five theories. First is Blake and Monton's managerial grid. If we see the grid on right side, that is it is a grid of 9 to 9 scale. On the x-axis, it is concern for people, and on one side it is concern for production. When we see 1:1 ratio, the box which is in yellow, that is 1:1, that is improvised management. uh, Managers that if somebody falls in that area, in that within the grid, uh, it is the managers that adopt the strategy scores poorly on both dimensions, but put forth the bare minimum of efforts to get job done by their staff members. Disorder and turmoil are often prevalent, because it is on a very low score of production as well as a low score of concern for people. So, you know, as a result of the leaders is lack of concern for not only for worker satisfaction but also for the work deadline. So people who fall in this area or maybe nearby area, they need to be impoverished or they are not the good leaders. Task managers, task management is on 9 to 1 ratio. 9 to 1 ratio is 9 on when it is on the concern for production, and 1 is when it is on 9 is very high on concern from production, but for concern of people is very low. So it is known to be as more of dictatorial style. Here the leaders are less concerned, the least concerned about the people. They only talk about the task, they only talk about the goals, they only talk about the output. They are more focused on the output. It is design is based on McGeorge's theory X, where the requirement of the workers are neglected and they are only served as a tool. According to this category, it is authority compliance management, and the efficiency can only be achieved through carefully planning work procedure and whenever possible by getting rid of many people as possible. In the short term, this style is undoubtedly boost the organizational output, no doubt. But because of the rigid policies and processes, a substantial labor turnover is unavoidable. Because here, when the concern of the people is very less, so labor turnover can be very high. The people are not satisfied. The people may not be like the work, they may not like the culture, because here it is all the leaders or the management or the top management, the leaders only talk about the task, about they only talk about the goals, they only talk about the output of an organization. They even don't bother about the what the people are be able to work. For example, the shift timings, whether the people are able to cope up with the shifts, but they need to achieve the targets, maybe increasing the shift, maybe increasing the number of hours of the shift, that may hamper the health, the risk of production. It may also increase the accidental rate. So concern for people is very low. So it is more of an authority compliance management, or maybe also known as task management. The other score, when we say, is middle. It is an orange color, that is 5-5 score, where it is middle of the road. This leadership style involves compromise as a leader, attempts to strike a balance between the needs of people and the needs of organization. The leader does not push the limit of achievement, resulting in the organizational performance being average. Employee and production needs are not fully satisfied in this situation. So it is a middle of the road management where everybody is aligned. The things are going on and on and on within the rules and regulations. There is no innovations. There is no push of the achievement. There is no motivation, but the work is going on within whatever is given on an average mode. Then one is country club management, which is on 1-9 ratio, where the concern of people is very, very high. That is to 9. But the concern for production is just 1. That is highly people oriented organization. The leaders are more and only concerned about people. Here, the leaders pays careful attention only on the needs of people, creating a warm and welcoming environment for them. The manager believes that treating workers in this way will encourage self motivation and result in people working hard on their own. The lack of focus on tasks through might that might hinder the production and produce questionable outcomes. So it is seen that when the people concern is very high and the goal orientation is very low, or the concern for task is very low, uh, people come and enjoy the work, people come and enjoy the environment rather, or maybe chatting and discussing and talking and enjoying the coming to the premises, because there is no pressure, there are no goals given, there is no set targets. So it is more of a country club management. So country club is when why it is named as country club, because when the people want to go off from their work, that is known as country club. So they are on work, but they are not in the work. They are in the premises, but they are off the works, because the same concern for production is very low. But they are keep on the the get-togethers are happening, and tea times are happening, and lunches are happening, or maybe they are very comfortable within the premises. Then the red color box is 99. 99 is the highest score, where the concern for production is also very high, and concern of people is also very high. This style is based on Ned George's theory, right, which has been termed the most effective style, which is characterized by high people and high task force. The leaders feel that empowerment, commitment, trust, respects are the key elements of creating a team atmosphere which will automatically result in high employee satisfaction and production. Here, the leaders focus not only on the people, not only on the motivation or collaboration, or sharing the goals or the objectives, setting the, but they are also concerned with setting the goals and objectives as per the capability and capacities of the employee, keeping their personal interest, also aligning the personal interest with the organization goals. This is known as team management. So overall, the grid is made up of 9, and there are basics 5 ways of leaderships which aligns, but this is one of the best, where the best leader is known to be as who align the team management, who align the objectives, personal objectives, employees' objectives with the organizational objectives. So this is Blake and Monton managerial grid. Second is trait theory of leadership. Certain traits are identified in the leadership styles. First is achievement drive, high level of effort, high level of ambition, and energy and initiative. Those who are achievement driven leaders. Leadership motivation. It is an intense desire to lead others to reach shared goals. Some people have that desire to lead. That is a trait of some people. That is sometimes a born trait also, where are known to be they are known to be as born leaders. They are termed as born leaders. They have that always urge to lead others, and how they can help people to achieve their goals. Honesty and integrity. This trait is of trustworthy, reliable, the people who are very open and very reliable and very trustworthy. Other trait is identify as self-confidence. Some people have belief in oneself, ideas and abilities. They are very confident about their ideas and ability. Depends on their experience, depends on their own personality, depends on their own, the way they work on the systems, on the processes. So this self-confidence is belief in oneself that creates a that's very important trait of in leadership, because we've seen that unless you are not self-confident, if a leader is not self-confident, how can they can build a confident team? So cognitive ability is equally important trait which is identified as a leader in leadership, that is capable of exercising good judgment. They has to be very good judge. They should not be biased. Strong analytical abilities has to be there, and they has to be conceptually skilled. So knowledge of business, knowledge of industry, and other technical matters are equally important trait of leadership. Whereas it has to be balance with the emotional maturity. They has to be well adjusted. They should not be more. They has to be emotionally intelligent enough to understand from the happenings or the situations around them. Uh, so all these traits are important. And the top of it, if the leaders are a charismatic personality, they are flexible, and or they are creative, these all create a very good leaders. Because when we talk about the good leaders, all these traits are identified in them. They are self-confident. They are very emotionally intelligent. They know how to balance between the team. They're very honest, and the integrity is very high with them, and they are much more knowledgeable about the business, about the organization, about the industry, about the any technical matter or anything which is happening around them. So this is all about the trait theory of the leadership. Then it's come the transformational leadership theory. When we say transformation, transformation is all about when we are transforming the leaders who are into the transformations. So transformational leadership, we see from a figure, there are four basic transformational leaders in four ways. One is inspirational motivation. So, transformational leaders guide followers by providing them with a sense of meaning and challenge. They work enthusiastically and optimistically to foster the spirit of teamwork and commitment. So we see that the people who are, the transformational leaders, they are always optimistic. They are always encourage people to do of their best of their resources. They are very enthusiastic, and they are always there for them to provide them with a guidance, or you know whenever any of their team member feel low, they are always there to guide them in best of their ways. Second, transformational, according to it, other is intellectual stimulation. Such leaders encourage their followers to be very innovative and creative. They encourage new ideas. They always have new ideas, and they share that new ideas with their team and never criticize their followers publicly and stay committed by them. The leaders focus on what in problem. Anybody comes with a new idea, uh, they are the people, the transformational leaders are always talk about what is to be done in that, or maybe what is the idea, and they do not focus on blaming. They always welcome the ideas because they themselves believe in intellectuality, and they are more creative and innovative. So next is idealized influence. They believe in philosophy that a leader can influence followers only when he practices what he preaches. So he always believes in doing the things first rather than asking the people to do the things. These leaders act as role leaders. They are the role models of the followers. Such leaders always win the trust and respect of their followers through their actions, not only by their words. They always believe in the action speaks. So they always believe in doing the practical things, whatever they are guiding them. Or, for example, a sales manager is guiding their teammates to go on a field and how to sell the product. Instead of only guiding them theoretically in a conference room, they go along with them on the field and close the deals, or maybe give them the practical field exercises and do on their own, and give them the act show them that, demonstrate the actions. So they believe in that, because that only, and once they close the deal, those the team, the sales person or the sales manager always follows them, or they define them as a role model of them. So it happens in most of the functional areas. And influence consideration is really important, where the leaders act as mentors. They are not only the managers of the leader, but they are more of a mentorship. They run the mentorship programs like that with their followers, and reward them for creativity and innovation on their own. The followers are treated differently according to their talents and knowledge and their capabilities. They are empowered to make decisions and always provided with needed support to implement their decision. So, individualistic consideration is very important. They follow the transform. The leaders who are known to be as transformational leaders, they follow all these four. It is integrated with not only as a motivator, not as only with a the intellectual simulation, but also the influence, the role model. Uh, Along with them, they also keep in as an individualized consideration of their team. All these four things makes the transformational leaders. Let's move to the next leadership theory, that is transactional. Transactional leadership and transformational leadership, it is very interrelated. The meaning of transactional leadership is leadership style where the leader uses rewards and punishments to motivate followers, whereas the transformational, when we see, uh, the leaders uses charisma and enthusiasm to inspire followers. Transactions, when they are talking about the transactions, when they are talking about the give and take processes, the concept is the leader emphasizes his relationship with the followers. The leaders, whereas a transformational leadership, where the leaders emphasizes the followers' values, ideals, models, and needs. The nature of transactional leadership is responsive, whereas the transformational leadership is more of an active. Transactional leadership is best in a busy environment, whereas the transformational leadership is best in turbulent environment. Transactional leadership work for development of an existing organizational culture. It is more of a bureaucratic, and there is only one leader. Mostly, it is one leader when we talk about the transactional leadership, because he is authoritative person who uses even the rewards or plus positive and negatives to motivate followers. So rewards and punishments are taken. It is authoritative of them. So it is more of a. They are more focused on plan and execution, whereas the transformational leadership we have seen, it is more of an innovations and creativity. The motivational tool for transactional leadership is to attract supporters by putting their interest first. So they always talk about, because they are the responsive, they wanted to want their work to be done in a very planned and very organized manner, in a in a set organization structure. There is no change in that. They have to go along with a bureaucratic style of an organization. So they are putting their interest first rather than their supporters' interest. Whereas when we see the transformation, because there the transformation is happening, so supporters are more focused on the interest of the company. So this is all about the transactional leadership, and also a comparison of transactional and transformational leadership, because sometimes it is inter used or interrelated, but it is not same. Transactional leadership is more towards the relationship with the followers, whereas the leader in the transformation is more focused on the needs, the moral, the ideals of the values of their subordinates or the followers. Next is Fiedler's contingency model. Fiedler created a least preferred coworker, that is the LPC scale, which asks leaders about the co-workers they least enjoy working with and in order to gauge their activities. The questionnaire is with 16 elements, is designed to assess a leader's general attitude towards working with people. So the people are this LPC scale is includes the following items like good or bad, friendly or unfriendly, rejecting or accepting, unenthusiastic or enthusiastic, tense or relaxed, cold or warm, helping or helpful or frustrating, cooperative or uncooperative, quarrelsome or harmonious, efficient or inefficient, gloomy or cheerful, distance or close, boring or interesting, self-assured, hesitant or open or guarded. So these are the few items which are asked them to the leaders' general attitudes towards working with people. So it is of the assessment of the leaders. So each item on the scale is given on a single score ranging from 1 to 8. It is on a with 8-point scaling, and 8 is on the highest and 1 is also lowest rating. So Fiedler states that leaders with high LPC scores are relationship oriented, and the ones with low scores are task oriented. The high LPC score leader derives most satisfied from interpersonal relationship and therefore evaluate their least preferred co-worker in fairly favorable terms. If we see this diagram, there is a diagram which shows a graph of LPC, which is from favorable to the most unfavorable. So these leaders, the high LPC score leaders, derive with more satisfaction from interpersonal and therefore evaluate their least preferred co-workers in fairly favorable terms. And these leaders think about the task accomplishment. Only about the relationship needs to be well satisfied. On the other hand, when the low LPC score leaders are derived satisfaction from the performance, because these performance is related to the task, they are more task oriented and attainment of objective. It is not only after tasks have been accomplished, these leaders work on establishing the good social and interpersonal relationships also. So this is the contingent Fiedler's model, which is a correlation between the leader's LPC score, and the graph shows the group correlation between the leader's LPC score and the group effectiveness or the team effectiveness. So these are the 5 models or the theories of the leadership, and organizations are using all these theories. They are following these theories very prominently. Next, let's talk about the types of leadership. So when we talk about the leadership, it can be transformational leadership, it can be delegative, it can be authoritative, it can be transactional, or it can be participative. So transformational leadership is more focused on future, it is more focused on change, it is more focused on the people around them. It is more of a making the transformation or the strategies used by the leaders who wish to motivate their people by utilizing their unique potential to accomplish more than they ever imagined. So the key characteristics are more towards how they can transform the existing system or existing process. Next can be delegative leadership. It is often referred to as laissez-faire leadership. a delegative leadership style focusing on delegating initiative to team members. This is also regarded as having a very hands-off leadership style. These leadership places or these leaders have the ability of subordinates to carry out their duties. They don't micromanage. They overly involve themselves in giving advice and feedback. The delegative leaders empower their team members to use their initiatives, resources, and expertise to achieve the goals or the objectives given to them. The successful leadership strategy if team members are competent and take responsibility for their work. So basically, delegative leadership comes from a delegating the responsibilities to the team members. So sometimes it comes to the disagreements also among the team members, and there may be a split, there may be a divide within the group related to any initiative or related to any processes or any any set systems which is being given to them. Then is authoritative leadership. Authoritative leadership, the term visionary is frequently used for describe authoritative leaders. Those who embrace the leadership style see themselves as mentors to their followers. In contrast to authoritative leadership, emphasize on follow me approach. They believe in they believe in an example for others around them and motivate people to follow. Understanding each member is a key component of authoritative leadership style. People around leaders who exhibit authoritative features are more likely to be inspired and motivated. They not only give their teams general direction but also the instruction. They criticize them, they work as a critic to them, they are influential and they inspire also. They are not only the instructors, they actually work as a mentors to them in a way that they are instructing them, they are criticizing them, and they are inspiring them. This encourages a sense of success and achievement among the team members. And understanding each member is very key component as it said, because uh, this not only enables a leader to offer advice and criticism on a more individual basis, but also assist them in succeeding, because they know each and every key component of they know about their team members so well. So they not only criticize them, they know not only also helps them to succeed in their further positions. As a result, effective leaders must be flexible, and especially as their team member gets big. Then is transactional leadership. We also discussed in previous slide that transactional leaderships are focused on rewards and punishment. It is also known as transactional managerial leadership. This leadership approaches places a strong emphasis on structure and assuming that people may lack true drive to finish their work. The leaders establishes for their teams specific objectives or the tasks assigned to them using for reward basis method. Leaders are explicit about how their team will be praised or criticized for their effort. They are very concerned about that. And the rewards can take many forms. They usually involve some type of financial compensation, like compensation, monetary compensation can be in form of bonuses. The give and take leadership approach is more focused on efficiently adhering to traditional practices. Then it is on bringing about organizational transformation. So though they believe in give and take relationship, the leadership is more of this. Give me, for example, a sales manager is asking their sales team to give me the complete the sales target, then I'll will go for a dinner out. So with the team dinner. So this is all give and take, or maybe a sales manager can commit some reports in terms of monetary terms or whatever as per their authority given to them or as per their boundaries. Then is participating leadership. Participative leadership is also known as democratic leadership. It is a leadership which approaches and encourages the staff in decision making process and they listen to them very properly. This leadership style necessitates that leaders has to be inclusive, they has to be effective, they has to be very good communicators, and most importantly, they delegate the authority and responsibility in a very balanced manner. When a leader uses a participative style of leadership, this promotes accountability and collaboration. Instead of laying responsibility at the feet of specific individual, this frequently results in the team's collaborative effort to pinpoint issues and come up with fixes. Historically, a wide variety of leaders among numerous companies have used this leadership very frequently. This leadership style is more challenging by the fact that working habits have changed. It is seen in COVID-19 pandemic as the teams have become more decentralized. The leadership style is a determining factor in how leaders develop their strategy, implement plans, and respond to changes. Managing the expectations of the stakeholders and well-being of the team is equally important, uh, as important as implementation or achieving the targets. Leaders and power dynamics. When we talk about the leader, the automatically the other term comes in our mind is power. Leaders use their power to get things done. The degree of power they can accumulate determine their ability to attain defined goals, have a good impact on people around them. Leaders can make use of their personal power or their positional power to get the things done. Power is basically a resource because it assists the leaders to get the things done. No matter how pure a leader goals are, they will remain merely aspirations unless it has the capacity to carry them out. When we talk about the personal power, it is derived not only from the title or a position, but with the attitude and behavior of the leader. Whereas the positional power, it is derived from the position of the leader, about the designation or the position hold in an organization and its hierarchy. Positional power is given while personal power is earned by people. So sometimes we see that the people is in good position and they use their positional power to take their work done. But sometimes it is seen that the person is not on, they are not on a very high position, but they know how to. They have that network. They have the relationship with the people around them. They have such a good reputation and they get the things work done within an organization. Here, the leader needs personal power along with the positional power to stand out from an average. But when we talk about the leadership, when we talk about the leaders, the leader need a combination of both personal power and positional power. When they really want to have a good leader designated to be as a good leader, because only a power will not make them a leader. It has to be a combination of positional and personal. Leaders and basis of power is based on reward power, coercive power, referent power, expert power, and legitimate power. Reward power is the power of a person has because people believe those in such power and can give any rewards or any desired recognition for the work done. Whereas a coercive power is the power of a person has because people believe in that person and punish them inflicting pain or by withholding or taking by away something that they value. Referent power is a power of a person has because other person want to associate with them. Expert power is having an expert knowledge of his or her domain. Whereas a legitimate power is a power of a person has when people believe that they have to obey them by a virtue of his personal or positional power. Leaders' power is may not use all the powers at its disposal. All the powers may not be effective all the time. The type of power used by leaders determine the behavior of the followers towards the leaders. The reward and legitimate power may result in favorable followers, but often end up with inconsistent results in long run. For example, a leader using coercive power will not have satisfied followers, like the leader using referent and expert power will have. So every part is used as per the situation as well, as per the need of using that power is depends on the what can be the result and who are all the followers. So leadership and decision making is more of delegating more responsibility, creating a position with supervisory oversight and allowing them to take a lead in running meeting or developing project plan. Task the employee with conducting brainstorming sessions and other employees or researching a concept and present findings and all. Then is assigning independent projects because leadership and decision making go hand in hand. These steps or these things has these factors has to be taken care of to help establish initial parameters and then allow them to decide and best course of action and turn over significant project to qualified employees and give them the leeway to run with them as they see fit. Then is to enhance the leadership is very important because if the roles assigned the appropriate employees to head up internal committees or external advisory boards, allow them to set specific goal and objectives and oversee implementation of plans and programs. Put the employees in pinpoint positions for different administrative responsibilities for which you feel they are qualified. So it is not only does this promote leadership and decision making skills, but also allow them to delegate the task and free up their own schedule and more important endeavors. Allow budget decisions. It is very important because the budget is normally taken care by the strategy people, mainly the leaders. Give department managers set budgets because leaders generally don't allow them in the budget decision because it is directly related with the financial decisions. So allow them to use them as they see fit. Regular detailed accounting and expenditure justifications or regular check-ins can be done, and if the budget manager goes over budget, help them determine where mistakes are to be has done. Provide mentoring. Mentoring is very important because there the polishing is equally required, and with the with with the own experience, with the full extent of your experience, invite them for the strategic planning sessions because leaders are not only leaders; they are said to be the best leaders when they are the best mentors. So the thoughts and the inputs should always be welcome and the constructive feedback is given to them, and of course their suggestions should be acknowledged and it has to be taken care of, and the cooperative decision making process can take place. Offer personal and professional enrichment where send promising employees to corporate conferences, trade shows, meetings for continuing education with the top institutes and focus on learning and creating the learning culture within an organization is very important factor which helps the leaders to decide the best of their employees. Maybe it will also help them in further succession planning or maybe for promotions. The opportunities through motivational speakers or career coaching can be advised to them. So overall, we have seen the meaning of leadership, definition of leadership, leaders and the power dynamics and how they influence their followers. There are different perspectives on what is meant by leadership, and some believe that there are set of certain characteristics or traits which make people leaders. Some believe leadership is nothing but an exercise of power. So successful leadership is mix of power, influence, traits, attitudes, communication, and maintaining a balance between all these diverse aspects. That's all for today. Thank you so much. Namaste.